Welcome back to another episode of Bible Dive. Today we are looking at fruit. What is fruit in the Bible? The verse that inspired this Bible study is Matthew 7:15 that says, "Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them." So to be able to recognize them by their fruit, we have to know what their fruit is. The word fruit in Hebrew is peri, and it is spelt with 3 characters from right to left. The first character is pe, the second character is resh, and the third character is yod. As you can see, the first character pe kind of looks like a face with its mouth open. Pe is the 17th letter of the alphabet. It also means mouth or word, expression, or vocalization. Pe has a numerical value of 80, which was the age that Moses was when he spoke to Pharaoh. Exodus 7:6 says, "Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh." There is a hidden bet symbol inside of Pe, and if you go and look at my study on heart, bet is one of the characters used to write heart, and it means in or tabernacle or tent. Resh is the second character used to write fruit. It is the 20th letter in the alphabet, and it also means head. Yod is the third character in the word fruit, and it is the 10th character in the alphabet. It is the smallest character, and it is also the only character that is suspended in midair. Some say the Yod represents Jesus because it's the smallest character. God humbled himself in the form of a man, Jesus. The way this character is suspended in air reminds people of how Jesus was lifted up on the cross. 10 represents completeness of order, as in there were 10 commandments. And we know that Jesus came to fulfill the law. If 1 represents God, then 10 could represent Jesus. Even John 1:10 mentions them both, saying, "He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him," talking about God and Jesus, 1 and 10. So from right to left, peri, fruit in Hebrew, could mean from inside, speak about Jesus. So when Matthew 7:16 says, "By their fruit you will recognize them," maybe they're saying, what exactly is this person talking about? Are they preaching biblical information, or are they talking about something else? Fruit also means the product of. So this verse could mean what are they producing? What's the end product? Galatians 5:22 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control." So that is the result, the product of having the Spirit inside of you are those things. Proverbs 10:16 says, "The labor of the righteous tendeth to life, the fruit of the wicked to sin." So sin is the product of the wicked person. Proverbs 11:30 says, "The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life." So the tree of life is the product of somebody who's righteous, and he that winneth souls is wise. In Genesis, we have 2 significant trees in Eden. We have the tree of life, and we have the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And they both bear fruit. In Genesis 2:9 it says, "In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." Genesis 2:16 says, "And the Lord God commanded the man, You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die." So we see here the product of this tree of the knowledge of good and evil is death, or sin, or hell. Revelation 2:7 says, "Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who is victorious, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God." So we see here the fruit of the tree of life is heaven. If you listen to God, you do what He says, you listen to the Spirit, the product of that is heaven. When you think about fruit on a tree, you think about bright colors. The oranges here are not green, they stand out, they're round, they're a different shape. The tree is presenting a fruit that is easy to see. So what kind of fruit are you presenting? Are you presenting healthy fruit, ripe fruit that nourishes others? Do your actions present good fruit? Are you helping others? Are you showing kindness to other people? Or are you presenting rotten fruit? Fruit that makes people sick, that can kill someone? Are we presenting fruit that tears down people? Are you saying mean things to people? Do your actions present someone who has a relationship with God, or do they present somebody of the world? Using this tree as an example, we know one thing: you cannot hide the fruit you produce. People are going to hear it and they're going to see it. So we have to make sure we are producing ripe, good fruit for people. That wraps up this episode of Bible Dive. I hope you enjoyed it. I did learn a lot. I read through 185 plus verses that had fruit in them, and I categorized them all, and then I went through that list and narrowed it down even more. I urge you to do your own Bible study, as always, on fruit, and you will see, I think, that most of the time it comes down to the product, like fruit of the womb. We're talking about the baby of the female. Anyway, thank you for listening. Next we'll be in verse 21, Matthew 7:21, talking about true and false disciples.